Hey, fearless friends, it's Amy, and I am so excited to be back today with another show. You know what? And we're talking fearlessly facing all the F words. We're talking them all. We're talking faith, friends, finances, fitness, FOMO, our futures, our faces, everything that starts with F. You know what? We want to age fearlessly, connect confidently, and that's why I'm so excited to have this show today with an incredible guest who was on actually season 1 with me.
That's
we
right.
should have a drum roll or something. Kareem, we need to get a drum roll or something with these things. Yeah, exactly. Kristen Jensen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. We haven't done this in a long time.
So trains, planes, automobiles.
Yeah.
Basically Connecticut to now we both are in Florida.
Well, let's not tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not in Sarasota, Florida. It actually is another part of Florida. But isn't it fabulous?
I love it.
Yeah.
We moved here about 16 months ago and don't regret leaving Connecticut.
Isn't that funny?
I loved it. I mean, it was good. We raised our kids there and then we're out.
At different seasons of life as we age.
Yes.
Things evolve constantly. Constantly.
Yes, they do.
So Kristen is a former Ford model. Okay. Yeah. Hello. I mean, amazing. Just the stories behind that are incredible. And really just your life experiences, your travel. And then what I love about Kristen, and when I first met Kristen, actually was because I was getting some branding photos done. But your ability to tell stories visually, I think, is your gift.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the highest compliment.
You're the best of the best. You truly are. You look at someone and you see their beauty, whereas so often we don't. We don't see our inner beauty. We don't see our outward beauty. We don't see we're our worst critic.
We're invisible. Many of us.
Yeah.
Especially when you age.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there becomes like an invisible wall, right?
Exactly.
That kind of comes down. But yeah, it is my gift. And thank you for recognizing me as that. That's the highest compliment.
Well, I think storytelling is huge.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have these walls up that we don't want to tell our story. We don't want to share our story. And then when you have the ability to create this, and then for someone like myself, who honestly, as much as I do on camera things, I still get nervous about watching myself, or I'm my biggest critic. Are you going to get me from the left side? Am I going to have a double chin? Am I going to be 15 pounds heavier? All those things.
Yeah, it is. We're just so self-conscious and more for women.
Yeah, I think so.
Most of my clients, I don't know, are women.
Right.
I have a lot of male clients and men and professionals, CEOs and guys, but guys are really much more confident. They fake it better.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
maybe they fake it better.
They fake it. That's enough.
That's enough.
Fake
right
it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I want you to take me back to that moment, Kristen, when I talk a lot about passion and purpose and how they just intersect. And all of a sudden, this epiphany happens. It's like, all right, I am really good at this. This is my passion. And now this is my purpose. Take me to that moment when it happened for you.
It happened to me towards the tail end of the height of my modeling career. So I spent a lot of time in Europe, actually 20 years on and off. I traveled to 34 countries.
Wow.
With German and French clients.
Wow.
And towards the back end, I was bored. Everybody else was having fun. To me, I wanted to be on the other side, because it was interesting. So I bought a Hi8 camera, which nobody probably even knows what that is now.
That.
Well, it's everyone, he knows what, no, a little camera.
A little camera.
But it shot 1080. So it was a good quality.
Yeah.
And we edited on Avid, but I brought my camera on every single shoot. And like how we're sitting here.
Yeah.
I would just flip my camera up and just look out there.
Interesting.
And I gathered 60 hours of footage.
Did you?
Signed releases.
Wow.
Then I hired a small production company in New York City. This is mid-late 90s.
Wow.
And I did some stand-ups to the camera. I was used to it. I was in SAG and after I did commercials and acting. And then I just wrapped it into a video and it was called The Art of Modeling. And it was 55 minutes. It was educational / documentary.
Yeah.
And what I loved putting it together. I was that passionate that on those trips, those modeling gigs, I would go back to the hotel room and look at my footage.
Wow.
And make like
and those
time
are long days. So you're going back.
No,
and
you're up at 4:30.
Yeah.
I mean, people think it's glamorous. It's like you're putting on ugly clothes and you're trying to make them look good.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. I can't.
But
I can't. Even imagine,
but the experience and who I met along the way, and the photographers and directors that were my mentors.
Right.
You know,
right.
Were great. But the first time I went to the editing room, I called it the editing room. We used to back then. I pulled an all-nighter with the guys. No drinking, no nothing, just pure passion.
Really?
Because I loved cutting the footage. I loved putting that story together. I go, oh, remember that? Let's find that. Let's put that here. So that was when I knew, okay, I shouldn't be.
Right.
You know, well, I mean, on camera is fine, but I prefer behind the scenes.
You prefer behind the scenes. Take me to a time when you were behind the scenes and you saw something, a woman, let's say a woman who was you could just tell, because you have this ability to pull things out of people. So if you're sitting there and you're surrounded by these beautiful, I mean, let's be honest, beautiful people, models, but you saw something in someone when you were behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like you saw somebody that just was probably struggling.
It's like I look at people, it's not like a microscope, but a lens.
Yeah.
You know,
and
the lens is a soft lens. The lens,
Explain that.
My point of view is I see the beauty in people. I know it sounds cheesy, but I and it can work against me, believe me.
Yeah.
But I do see the best in people. And I really think photography is about the Indian, not the arrow. So it's the point of view. It's my point of view.
Okay.
You could you could train to be a photographer and learn all your photography technical stuff forever and ever and ever, because it's evolving very fast. But if you don't see it.
Right.
And I think it's the same thing with our goals or seeing anybody good or how women see themselves.
Right.
If you can't see it, it's hard to make stuff happen and even get off your butt to do something.
Yeah.
Because you have to just have a glimmer of hope.
A glimmer of hope. So interesting. So I have to share this because, and this is nothing we have rehearsed or anything, but I was homesick a couple of weeks ago with the flu. So I was watching everything on Netflix. I mean, I was just going through and I was streaming all these things. I happened on the Aaron Rodgers Enigma. Well, I'm a Wisconsin girl, so Green Bay Packer fan. I've always been a little intrigued by Aaron Rodgers. My daughter actually met him when she was interning at a TV station in Green Bay. He left Green Bay, went to New York, but he has this documentary out right now. It's called Enigma. And honest to goodness, Kristen, I almost called you during this because I'm not really a football guru. I don't know all of that. I wasn't that interested in that part of his story. Mm-hmm. What I was interested in was watching him react. And this whole video, I want you to watch it, actually.
Okay. I'm totally going to watch it.
We'll talk about it afterwards. And if Aaron Rodgers ever watches this, I would love to interview him, because my takeaway from that, I kind of put on my Kristen Jensen lens and I watched how he told his story. And see, I even get goosebumps when I say it, because I felt my takeaway from this whole thing, football aside, he's fantastic. He's all of this, but he's almost like he doesn't love himself. I could see that as somebody laying bed and sick with the flu and 102 temperature, maybe a little off, in his eyes. I was like, you don't love yourself. You're so great and you're so fabulous and you're so skilled and everything, but I could see that.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm sure you see, and I don't even know if that's true. I mean, that's an Amy Schmidt theory from watching Enigma, but you see this all the time. I mean, you're looking through the lens at somebody, and I know their eyes speak a lot, right?
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
You can tell.
Most, it's kind of sad. Most women, and especially, 50 and beyond, their self-esteem starts to dip.
Yeah. Right.
And you definitely see that. So you want to build them up and make them feel good. Although I've met some women recently that their self-esteem is so high.
Really?
That they turn ugly to me.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? People that
Yeah.
are just too full of themselves, like just got to,
Yeah.
knock it down.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen very often. Out of all the girls I modeled with over the years and the actresses, the girls, I mean, we were tired.
Yeah. Right.
Do you know what I mean? We're not sitting there looking in the mirror going, oh, we're so great. No.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but that's I will definitely watch that on Netflix.
I want you to watch it because I did. I was like, wow, there is something so deep in this. And I think about that with the story. And it was his story, but how you tell stories of people. I also think there's something interesting as we age in that, life past 50, 60, beyond, there's a real spotlight on us right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Forbes Best 50 over 50. There's all of these women doing amazing, incredible things, entrepreneurs going back to the workforce, whatever they're doing, they're creating, they're living out their dreams. With that spotlight, some women may feel as though smaller because they're not writing a book. They're not going back to work, which is all fine and good. But remember walking the halls in middle school and high school and feeling insecure? I hope that shining so much of a spotlight on women over 50, launching businesses, don't inhibit some of these women that are just putting pen to paper and trying to create something for themselves.
Right. Especially if they've been moms, full-time moms,
right.
which is the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
And then to kind of reinvent. And I think a lot of people and clients come to me, even when we first met, it's like we're packaging and reinventing ourselves.
Yeah.
And, our energy level isn't the same.
Right.
That changes significantly.
Yes. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Check on that.
Yeah.
It is true. And you really do have to, I talk about the fact that, we go through life with blind spots. And we have the ability to sometimes not ask for help. We don't go to our resources. We want to get there further, faster. We think we can do it alone better. But then as we age, we find people like, I look to you as a mentor for me, as somebody that I can reach out to and say, hey, Kristen, what do you think about this idea?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of women don't do that. Their fear of, they feel weak, or they say, well, I don't want to ask for help because then I look weak.
That's true. It's just, it all goes back, I guess, to feeling insecure, and you have to fill your cup up. You have to add back, put things back in that build you up.
Right.
Because there's enough out there going on.
Yeah.
Of things trying to knock you down.
Right.
So it's really, courage, right?
It is. It's choosing courage over comfort.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's not easy. That's not even easy for me all the time. Believe me. No.
Exactly.
No.
Well, moving to a new community, launching a business, relaunching a business here in another part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same. I go to a large church here. I know you do too. And the other night I had to walk into a room, 250 women, and I really didn't know anybody. And those feelings of, okay, Amy, roll those shoulders back, stand up straight. You can do this. That even happens to me.
Yeah. Since that, I think moving, kids are out of college or in college and you move from pretty much where you raised them, sold the house. Yeah. Most of my clients have been up there. I'm just developing, getting a clientele here. Terrifying.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying. And I drove down. I followed my husband.
Yeah.
He had a little U-Haul. We had, got a truck later to bring down most of our stuff, but we drove the cars down.
Yeah.
And I was it was like an out of body experience because I was so out of my comfort zone. Nobody knows me here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who am I?
Right. Who am I?
Who am I? That's what.
Oh, that's the big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times do we ask ourselves that?
Yeah. Like, what am I now?
Yeah. Right.
Because we get into our own little groove, right? It's back to the comfort. Yeah. Courage over comfort.
So let's talk about that, because a lot of viewers and listeners might be saying, okay, like I'm ready to start something. I'm ready to step into something I've always wanted to do, but I don't know how to start. What would you tell them? You're
going to need cheerleaders.
Yeah.
You got to get your tribe.
Yeah.
And you have to handpick it and get people that love and support you.
Right.
You do. You have to have that.
Yeah. And that
because
tribe
without
changes,
it,
right?
some drop out and
Yeah.
new one pops in.
Fearlessly facing friends.
Yeah.
So now, Ford, it's true, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It changes. And I think we get stuck in this, so many of us just think, I don't think I can do it. I'm going to wait until I'm 10 pounds slimmer to do it.
Oh, that's a big one. That is a huge one.
I'd still be waiting.
Well,
I'd still be waiting.
I think, 99%
right, yeah.
of the world would wait.
Or, I'm going to save more money. So I'm going to put it off. Or I'm going to wait until the timing is totally perfect when everything's aligned. When does that ever happen?
It doesn't. There's never a perfect time to move. Right. There's never a perfect time to dive or jump.
Yeah.
There's never was it a perfect time to have a baby?
Right.
I don't know. You got to grab it.
You got to grab it.
You have to take the step.
Yeah. We talked a little bit before we started recording about how time is just continuing to go. It is. And it seems to go faster.
It does.
It just seems to.
No, God speeds it up.
Yeah. It truly does.
When you're on the back nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes a little.
When you're on the back nine.
No, it does. Your whole, again, the lens, the perspective.
Yeah. The back nine. My sister says her last trimester, and it drives me crazy because I'm like, stop saying your last trimester.
It sounds icky.
I like the back nine much better.
The back nine is sexier.
Yeah, it is.
At least you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about women in photography, because I think every woman should have photos taken every year. Whether you're in business or not, I feel that that's important. And a lot of people say, well, why? It's expensive. Why would I want to do that? I don't want to look at myself. What am I going to do with them?
I'm being egotistical.
Oh,
why should I do that? But
yeah,
I think, and it depends obviously on the photographer, what's going on. But what I like to provide is an experience.
Right.
Great hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Nice music.
That feels so good.
Maybe a mimosa.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
Let's loosen up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's loosen up. Get to know each other. I said, and that's how it's going to be. We're going to be sitting or talking, or I'm standing up or sitting with a camera, and we're just having a conversation.
Yeah. I wasn't loosened up the first time you took my photo. I think I was stiff as a board. I still don't really enjoy getting my picture taken, and I wish I did a little bit more.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You think so?
Oh, yeah. I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. It's like going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Do we? Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very few.
Yeah.
And I think modeling is you learn how to model this pose, that pose, that,
Yeah.
It's
gosh. I never even learned how to stand.
It's so robotic, there's it's like 99 poses you go through in your head, like of all the different things you can do. So when I'm photographing like you, didn't I stand, like if I'm photographing you right now, we swap seats and I sit where you are, because I learned to be a photographer and producer and light by the way it felt on my face.
Interesting.
So I light by what it feels like. Also, what it obviously has to look good.
Right.
But, and then I also, when I'm in the client, my client's seat, I also will go through a range of poses. And I know it looks easy to them, but they don't understand. I did it for 20 years every day.
Oh, I know. I can't imagine doing that, but you did every single day. I was exhausted after the 3 hours or 6 hours, whatever we spent together.
That's why they pay them so much. There's a reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. So, as an entrepreneur and as a solopreneur, really for so many years, a lot of women don't take care of themselves. It's, back burner. And I'll do it later. I don't need to exercise anymore. I got to do this. I have 16 appointments I have to get to today. We both struggle from that. I know we've had this conversation about starting work at, 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning and not coming up for air.
No,
or doing anything for ourselves.
And then it's dark out and you're still sitting. You haven't even walked.
Yeah. So how are you taking care of yourself? How have you learned to treat yourself as a guest of honor?
That is a very good question.
Because I want to learn.
You really put me. No, I want to learn too. No, I am absolutely a work in progress.
Yeah, me too.
I am just I was talking about it with my husband. I've got to, I want to be doing yoga again. I had a surgery last fall, a knee deal. So that kind of knocked me out, and I just got to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
And I need a schedule. And if I don't do it in the morning, if I don't exercise in the morning,
right,
it most likely won't happen, because the minute I get to my office,
it's
all gangbusters.
You're all in. It's a blessing and a curse for me. I'm a very hard worker, and I learned that I work so hard that then I just either I get sick or I do something. So I really have learned to, in my 50s and almost beyond now, to really listen to my body, because it does. It nudges you until it finally knocks you over, and then you're like, okay, come on, like work in progress. You got to practice what you preach here.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be on the calendar. You have to have a buzzer go off. If you could create that, and I have been in that flow. Currently, I'm not, but I will be. I'm going to go to yoga tomorrow.
You go, girl. I know. I'm addicted to Pilates.
So I haven't tried that yet.
Oh, you'll love it. And there's something about it that you really don't look at yourself, because
good.
You're laying down. I love it. And there's not this sense of competitiveness. I used to love that. I would go to those step classes, whatever they were, the step thing, and people won't even know what we're talking about if they're under 40. But anyway,
Jane Fonda,
yes, you'd go and you'd kind of look at the person next to you and be like, oh, I can do it. I can do it better than you. I can do it faster than you. And in Pilates, it's like, oh, this is awesome, because you are in your own zone, probably like yoga.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk my husband into doing yoga. He's like,
I've tried to talk mine too.
I know, because guys need to stretch too.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yeah,
and he's like, well, I don't want to. I said, believe me, nobody is looking at you.
Exactly.
I mean, I know you're really hot, but
no one's looking. No one's looking. If you don't mind, we talk about this a little bit, because as we age fearlessly, aging parents and losing our parents is a part of that. We both have lost. You recently lost your mom, and I'm so sorry about that, because I know.
Thank you.
How intimate that relationship and how special that relationship was.
Yeah. It's like when I moved from Connecticut, it was like a domino.
Yeah.
I was flying back and forth more often. I'm not in the mood to go up there right now in January, but I mean, I was looking after my mom, and the plan was to bring her down, and she didn't want to come.
Yeah.
So, and my mother modeled. My mother actually got me into modeling from beauty pageants, and I didn't want to do it. I was petrified. And then about 10 years into it, I brought my mother to my modeling agency. My mother was just turning like 50, maybe 40, late 40s. And she dyed her hair like dirty blonde. And the booker, that's what they're called, who work at the modeling agency, said, "Hey, Leslie, what's under that brown hair?" And she goes, "Oh, it's just silver. It's white." So he said, "Well, if you let it grow out and go white, I'll work you." And he did. And she had a 10-year.
I never knew that.
Yeah. She had a 10-year run. We did jobs with Harper's Bazaar, Good Housekeeping.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. It was like crazy. It was kind of, I mean, the Harper's Bazaar gig was like a flat table like this, right? And we're looking at each other in the mirror, posed like this all day.
Really?
Yeah. Talk about my mother, myself.
Wow.
Or me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I was just going to say that. Wow.
Yeah. So it was good. And it was also, but she was very beautiful. And she kind of came on that scene when Silver started going for a run.
Do you talk to her? I talk to my mom every day.
I see a lot of birds.
You see a lot of birds.
Yeah. And I've recently blew up a print that I shot. I was on a safari, like, I don't know, 12 years ago. And I blew up a print of a bird on metal. And then I went to like Home Goods and I bought another bird. And then I went to Sweden this last summer, and I saw my agent that represented me in Germany for so long, and my husband and she gave me bird pillowcases.
Really?
I don't know. I think it's a good sign.
I think it's a good sign too.
But she was ready to go. She had Lewy body dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's just brutal.
Yeah. That
is nothing fun.
No, it's not. Those are things that scare me a little bit when
Yeah.
you talk about those types of things as we get older and I start to see it in people. And all of a sudden in our peer group, we start to have some issues that come to be much more evident in your 50s and your 60s
Yes.
than they ever were.
Right.
And those moments are challenging.
Right. I mean, that's just it. It's the back nine is also,
I love that.
like you are on the back nine. You know what I mean? Like that part is done.
Yeah.
That part is finished. And now it's like, what am I now?
Yeah.
And how do I see it?
Who am I?
Who am I?
That's a good
It
question.
always goes back. Who am I?
It does. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what am I going to do to make a difference? You know?
And I think that's so important. And so often we overlook things that we've accomplished or undervalue things that we've done. And so often.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do have to look back at in almost decades of life, especially at the ages we are. You look back 3-4 decades back and you see what you've done. And those dots they are a narrative. They are your story. They all happened for a reason. There are no coincidences. They all happened.
Oh, I know. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like this dot leads you to this and this happened. But, it's like I tell my son, Noah, God doesn't give you the whole plan.
Right.
It's all about faith and trust. And it's like driving down a road in fog.
Yeah.
And you have the headlights on and you want to see it.
Right.
You want to see till you get to your destination. But you got to trust.
You got to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I really hope women listening today and watching, are inspired to try something, to continue to learn, to be fearless, to face those challenges. And, for somebody today that I want to encourage every woman, I put it out there in a social media post a while ago around the holidays. And I said, you know what? Get in the photo. Stop taking the photos. Get in the photo.
Yeah.
Because they don't. They
never.
I mean, when I even look through photos, and I've got thousands, I need to do something about that. So if there's anybody watching that's an organizer around that, I need that help. But my husband's in almost all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that he's in almost all of them.
Yeah, but what about you?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple segments tomorrow in Tampa, and they were like, Aim, send us some pictures of like you and the kids or you. And I mean, I had to scroll for years to find a couple. And that sounds silly. I mean, it's not that my husband's in every picture, but it's hard to find one when I'm in it.
Oh, totally. Totally. The value of a family portrait, like finding a good family, like that's really valuable.
Yeah. I think so
those
too.
photos. Yeah.
So 3 tips before we go that you can give women when they are either having their picture taken. What can they do to just feel more confident?
I think that they should come prepared to have fun and it's not scary.
An F word. Fun.
Fun. We could do effing fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that, this is another thing I say. It's not about perfection.
Oh.
That is not what sells.
Love that.
I mean, even from a marketing standpoint.
Right.
It's about energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like if you're going through Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, you look at someone's picture, either it pops or it doesn't. It's energy.
Well, that takes me back to Aaron Rodgers. I'm telling you, he didn't pop.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like his eyes didn't pop. Like there's something in there. Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
That's
We're going to have a whole session with Aaron here.
Okay, good. Good.
But yeah, interesting. So energy.
Very much energy. Like I do a lot of websites and people's photos for the landing page, the hero shots and all that. I'm like, it's just about your energy. It's not the perfect smile. I have women that come to me, they don't want to smile because they have wrinkles.
True.
So
I've heard that.
I've heard that. I can dot, Photoshop's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I wish I could just do that every morning.
Yeah.
And put a wand on there and have it all go away. No, but it's not, it's like if you don't have that sparkle and energy.
Yeah. And that comes with authenticity too, right?
It does. And there's some people I photograph that haven't been that attractive.
Right.
Let's just say.
Yeah.
They're not the beauty queen.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But something happens and all of a sudden they become beautiful to me.
Beautiful to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah. It is energy. And I actually photographed a woman just last Friday and I said the same thing to her. I said, don't worry about being perfect.
Yeah.
Don't just smile.
Just bring your
Let
energy.
your eyes be,
Smile with your eyes. You told me that.
Mhm.
Smile with your eyes.
Yeah.
I try.
You do. You're so photogenic.
I try.
Get out
I
of
try.
here.
Well, I did have, we had a friend on, we both know him, and we were talking last week about beauty and kind of about faces and eyes. And he always has to put more attention to one eye on me because it's more hooded than the other one. And that is all evolved.
Well,
over time.
Everyone's body. Right. Well, everything
gravity
kind of
tends
everything
to win.
goes down. Right.
Yes, gravity wins.
But there's nobody that has a perfectly symmetrical face.
Right.
Everyone has a little off this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not about being perfect.
Right.
It is about being authentic.
Yeah.
And real.
All right. Last question.
Yeah.
If you were sitting on the couch and you look over and there's 30-year-old Kristen, what advice would you give her?
Don't give up. Don't ever settle. Go for the highest thought.
Don't settle.
Yeah. Just don't dumb it down.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
You're amazing. I think we'll be doing a lot more together.
I do too.
All right. I love you.
I do too. Thanks.
See ya. Thanks, everybody.
Mm-hmm.